Interested in knowing how I did this? Just keep watching. So I used Sculpey Primo for this project instead of either Sculpey 3 or the Craftsmart, which is the Michaels brand polymer clay. I really loved using the Primo. So I got the colors Spanish Moss, Pale Blue, Wasabi, and Opal. The Opal, y'all, oh, spoiler alert, is gorgeous. It is so beautiful. I love it. But yeah, I really loved using this clay. I found that either the Sculpey or the Craftsmart was way too pliable. This stayed rigid better, and my fingerprints didn't stay on it. It stayed what I wanted it to look like. So I highly recommend Primo if you're a beginner because it's beginner friendly. I got this bowl. Is that what I don't think they call it a bowl. I don't know what they call it, but I got it from the Dollar Tree, and I used some Goo Gone and elbow grease to get that sticker off. And I will also use I'll spray it with alcohol to clean it all together. But yeah, this was just $1 for this bowl. So go to the Dollar Tree, y'all. You find some good deals. But yeah, so I just gave it a good cleaning to get ready to put the clay on. Now y'all, it has been a hot minute since I have done a video. I mean, it's been months, and I'm very rusty, and I apologize from the get-go right now because either some of this stuff was not in frame, and then some I thought my camera was on and it wasn't. So I apologize so much for that. But I wanted to go ahead and show the video. You know, you get the gist of what's going on. Look at that. Look at that. Opal clay. All that glitter is gorgeous. So I got this technique idea from Artsy Madwoman. She did something similar to this. It wasn't this project, but the way that she cut up her clay, she did it in her last week's video, and so it gave me the inspiration to do this. I was like, man, that's a cool idea. But she used acrylic paint, which I did not do here. But I will use foil like she did as well to put in this, and y'all, it just turns out gorgeous. But I did it this way because I was making a frog. I didn't want to how do I put this? I wanted it to have a quartz effect, right? I wanted it to have roundness to it. I didn't want all of this incorporated together like you normally do with clay. And two, this made it so much easier to work with this clay as far as combining the two clays together. So I will probably, anytime I need to mix two clays or more together, I will do this technique because it's really cool. But yeah, so I ended up just chopping it all up in different geometric shapes because again, I wanted it to look like quartz almost, or like a geometric thing. But yeah. Again, rusty on the video, so sorry, but I did bring back my vlog channel, and I do a lot of behind the scenes on there, so I do talk about this a little bit. So if you're interested in seeing my vlog, go ahead and check my vlog channel out, Gina's Life. It'll be linked down below. Shameless plug. I'm using this translucent baking clay for a couple of reasons. One, to combine all this together, and to combine the foil onto it. And then another reason is so that it will stick to that bowl without me having to put it on the bowl and be all messy. So I just put it all together here, and it worked pretty much. I do have a little bit of a boo-boo happen, but I'll talk about that later on in the video. So I just crumble up this foil to get it, kind of small pieces. And now I will put gloves on because I'm not touching all that with my bare hands because gross, But it incorporates very well, very easily. And not to mention it was fun. It was fun to chop this stuff up, y'all. I'm not going to lie. And then to see what it ended up looking like at the end, it's always a surprise, right? It's different. And you know me, I love that so much. But this turned out, I just love the colors. together, and the glitter and the gold in there. Oh, chef's kiss, baby. So I'm rolling it in a log, and I'm trying to remember to use my measuring things there on my mat because I have to get, that's one thing I need to work on when I'm doing polymer clay is sizing, right? Using the same amount. So I at least remember to do that. And I just chop them up and see how there's the round parts inside it. That is what I wanted. I wanted it to have that like a geode looking type thing inside it, like spotty. So I chop them all up, and then I will put them back together, and I will roll it to kind of get it to stick together, and then I will use my pasta machine to make a thin layer of it. And that is what I thought I was filming, and I ended up not filming that. But I used the pasta maker at the thickest part one time to kind of make sure that it's good and put together, even though I am using my roller, but I needed it to be a long sheet because this is what's going to go over the whole bowl. So I needed it to be, more than this, right? So I will do it on the thickest setting first, and then I will do it one more time on the less thick, like it was a number, instead of 1, I think it was a 3. And that's the only thing I do, just 2 times, because I didn't want it to be too incorporated or streaky. And so this is the outcome where it is, they have the long streaks, but it easily laid onto the bowl. I just draped it onto the bowl and then cut what I needed to cut. Using the gloves also helped, and I really do believe it's this clay too. But by using gloves, you're not getting fingerprints on there. So that was a good tip too, is to use gloves if you have them so that fingerprints are not left. But it sticks to this really easily. It cuts easy. And then when you do have seams, it really, really does blend very, very well. A lot better than the Craft Smart or the Sculpey 3, because that's, you get a lot of fingerprints, and if you try to seam together, it just keeps going and going and going, it seems, where this is more rigid and not as pliable. So I really do prefer this clay. This is the clay that I'll use from now on. It wasn't too hard to mix together and to condition and get ready to work. Was a little bit more difficult than the Craft Smart and the Sculpey 3. Well, yeah, but then the Craft Smart and Sculpey 3 gets way too pliable, So I really prefer this a lot. And again, because I had put that translucent baking clay into the clay already, I don't have to put it on the glass. It's already in the clay, and it will work. And look how it's beautiful. I just went around and made sure that the seams were good and smoothed out. And this is the smoothest I think I have ever made anything, truly. Now I'm on to his legs, and again, I'm just measuring, cutting that in half. And this is just leftover clay that I'm using. And I will end up cutting this again, but instead of just rolling it out with the roller, I will put it together because I just felt like there was a lot of white in this, and I kind of wanted to incorporate it a little bit better so the more of the green would come out. So I will roll it again into a little like log, and then make his leg. And again, because this has that translucent baking liquid in it, it will adhere to the clay that's already on the bowl. So I'm just creating them, making sure the size is right for this fat little frog that I'm making. And I just decide where I want to put his little leg and give it a little bend. And he's ready to go. And I will do the exact same thing for the other leg. And again, the baking clay helps that to stick on there. And there they are, 2 cute little fat frog legs. And now I will start on his little toes. I just made it pretty simple, 3 little toes, and this is just, again, leftover clay. I'll roll it out so that I'm making sure that it's the same size. I could have rolled that out a little bit better. I know it looks a little janky, but it works. It ends up working. The gloves are great, but then, however, when it comes to start making little detail things like I'm doing now, they get in the way because my fingers are not as long as the gloves. So I'll end up taking the gloves off because they end up not working too well for me. So that I can roll these up into the little beans, like there. Oh, there they are. So I'll make feet, and I will put it up underneath the leg to where I want it to go, and I will use my tool to kind of make sure that it's sticking. You see, the gloves are just in the way. I'm like, this is horrible. So there, I've used just my fingers to create these. Much better, right? Yeah, look at them. They look like little bean toes, little beans. But yeah, I'll use my tool to make sure that they're on the leg once I know exactly where I want to put them. And I will do the exact same thing on the other side. And again, I apologize for being out of frame and all that. And even this voiceover is very awkward for me right now. But there's the tool. Y'all, not filming for a while, man. It's not quite like a bicycle, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard. But I will use the tool to separate his toes or whatever, just to get him to look the way that I want. Now I'm going to his eye. Okay, so I have, it's actually 4 clay, but they're different sized cookie cutters, you would say, clay cutters. So I will use the circular one in 3 different sizes to make his eyes. So I'll do a green for his eye, a white for the white of his eye, and then black for the pupil. And I'll put it together. Now I did try to use the baking clay to stick it onto the body, which I thought was working. However, when he cooked, the eyes fell off. And I have a gas stove, and so yeah, one of the eyes got burnt. You're going to see that. I thought about just painting over it, but it ended up looking bad, so I just ended up creating a brand new set of eyes and cooking them or baking them, so it was no big deal. But now I'm on to his tongue. I used red and white, just leftover clay that I had, and I'm pretty sure it was the Crafts Mode because this stuff was very, very pliable. But y'all, I love this tongue so much. It is so funny how it ended up working out. But you see how it's just so pliable. It's really hard to work with, that clay is. But anyway, I put it on his face, and then I took my tool to make just like a little smile, and I was going to leave it at that, but then I had this leftover clay from his eyes, so I end up using that for his mouth. And y'all, oh my gosh, I'm going to put in the live of that, of when I made his mouth. Oh my god, I love it. Oh my god, I love it. Oh my god, oh my god, holy moly, man. Oh my god, I love it. That was so funny to me. So derpy, but right on. So I just love this guy to pieces. I do end up putting little spots on his legs and his body, and I just use just different colored clay, and again, the clay tools, clay cutters, to cut out these oval shapes and just put them on the body. And mixing some of the colors. Look how this is going to be gorgeous. Look at this color. Does that pale blue and yellow? Ooh, I loved it. Loved it to pieces. So yeah, just put it on the body, and then I will use my soft pastels to give him cheeks. The red here is going to give him cheeks and his lips, and I also use it on his tongue. And then I use different color of soft pastels like the teals and yellows and greens and blues to kind of shade a little bit around the spots and all that kind of good stuff, just to give them a little bit of dimension, you know what I mean. So then I bake him, and he will come out without any eyeballs. But then I make eyeballs and I glue them on with, look at him, it's so sad. But I glue it with the Gorilla Glue, and then I use UV resin to seal him up to make him look pretty. And here is some outside shots. Look at the glitter. Oh, I just love that UV resin on it. Oh, it looks so cute. I'm in love with him. I love him. And then look in the inside. I figure you could use it as a planter or whatever she wants to use it for, but you could put like a little, wouldn't it be cute? Like a little plant, like a little air plant with the little tuft of the plant showing, so it's like like a little hair. Oh my God, I love him. So that's it for this week's video. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. That will help my channel so much, and I would appreciate it. Again, if you want back behind the scenes footage and just my day-to-day life, go to Gina's Life. It'll be linked below for my vlog channel. Alright, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.